soaps. For those who don't know, this is my daughter Lily. She is my greatest soaping assistant. We're going to be making grapefruit lemongrab soap today. There isn't anything like really actually about lemongrab. I just think lemongrass sounds a little too close to lemongrab, and I've said it wrong so many times. But it's a really cool soap. I included some soapy melt and pour curls. It's been a while since I've done that. If you aren't following me on Instagram, I have two accounts. I have a Royalty Soaps account for all my soapy creations, and I have a personal account for lots of pictures of this one. And without further ado, we hope you enjoyed the video, and let's get started. We are going to begin by pouring our lye water solution into our bucket of oils. The recipe that I'm using today can be found in the description box down below. Just gonna pour that cool lye water solution in. Both my oils and my lye water are at room temperature. If you're really anxious to start making soap and you're kind of an impatient person like myself, I like to make the lye water at night so that it's ready to go first thing in the morning. Now I'm going to blend on high until the mixture has reached light trace. Pour off a little bit of my batter into these two containers. I'm pouring off more into this white one. That is going to be the green base color. And then I'm pouring off just a little bit into this medium-sized container because that's going to be the pink accent and the white or kind of creamy color top. We're going to wait a while to mix up both the pink color and the white color, so I'm going to set those off to the side. And for now, we're just gonna focus on this green base color. So the green that I'm going to be using today is New Leaf Green. This is from Nurture Soap. It's very similar to their spring green. Just gonna put about 1 teaspoon in there. We're going to add a little bit of our fragrance oil, and then I'm gonna blend on low. This green color looks perfect, and now we're going to pour it into our molds. The molds that I am using, and pretty much always use, unless I'm doing a slab, are from Brambleberry. I'll leave a link to them down in the description box below. So I'm just going to evenly pour this soap into both the containers. Like I said, this is going to be kind of the green base color. We're going to add some embeds in before pouring the second layer. I'm gonna scrapey my container. I don't want to have any green left over. I want it all in the mold right now. We're not adding any of it onto the top or anything like that because the piping we're adding is gonna be a really pretty green color. So we're just gonna try to keep them separate. Now for the fun part, I have some soap curls and some little soap cubes that I have colored in both 24 karat gold mica and Aztec Gold mica from TKB. You can see them in there. And those soap curls are just made with glycerin soap, but you can actually make them with cold process as well. I'm just going to begin placing them in, just like so. Actually, this is still a little liquidy. I'm not liking how much it's sucking down those those embeds there. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until it sets up a little bit more so that they will stick up straight on the top of the green. Everything has thickened up a little bit, at least enough for me to feel comfortable putting some more of these in. So I'm just gonna stick it up until about half of it is still remaining because I want this to go into both the layers. It's been a really long time since I made a soap this complicated. But I had a vision. I just knew what I wanted for it, and yeah, so I thought worth it, worth all the time. Gonna place this one right here. Ooh, it fell over. No. I thought in this video, because it'll probably be a long one due to the amount of detail I'm having to put into it, I might answer some of the questions that get left for me down in the comment section below quite a lot. If I cover or insulate my soaps, because lots and lots of soap making websites, especially those that are kind of dated, maybe were written, you know, 5 years plus back, really recommend that you do that. I even found a few websites that were like, you have to do it. That's false. You don't. You don't have to cover or insulate your soaps. Some people find that it helps them release them from the molds better because their bar goes through something called gel phase, which is where it gets kind of like thick, like jelly on the inside, and it gets really hot. And therefore it creates kind of a harder bar, but With a recipe like mine, I have a pretty severe water discount, so it's already pretty hard to begin with 24 hours later. So I do not cover my soaps, I don't insulate them, and covering them too would mess up the top with my piping. I tried to do that when I was first starting out, like tried to cover my piping, and it always messed it up, and it made me sad because I was under the impression that I had to do that, but you don't have to cover or insulate them. You might get something called soda ash. If you don't, that's something you guys never see in my videos, because this recipe that I created, it doesn't soda ash very much. Sometimes it does whenever I have a fragrance oil in there that like has a tendency to make it do that, but otherwise I really don't ash with this soap. And it doesn't have to be insulated, and the recipe is free for you guys down in the description box below. So it's really, really beginner friendly. If you're looking for like a batch just to help you get started, the one that I am using, this recipe that I've kind of like perfected over the years, is a really good one because you don't have to do anything special to it, and it's gonna create a really good batch of soap for you. I also get asked a lot if I will ever create a soap without and then list any one of the oils. Like, I only use 5 oils in my soap, which is not that many, and without fail I get asked all the time if I can omit like palm. People be allergic to sweet almond, allergic to coconut, I mean allergic to olive oil. Like, will you ever make a soap without one of these? And the answer is maybe, because I like the recipe that I've used. It's taken me years to get a recipe that I really just like, that's multifunctional, that's easy to work with, that creates great lather, and is also not too harsh on anyone's skin. So I'm really happy with the recipe. I don't plan on changing it because it's a good one. But for things like that Bastille soap that I made, you know, there wasn't any palm in that. And I do tinker with, you know, fun, very limited edition recipes and stuff. So it's possible that if you're allergic to one of those oils or have, you know, a sensitivity to them or something, that I will make a soap in the future that will be very kind of limited edition. Alrighty, all the embeds are in, so I'm gonna place these to the side while we mix up the next part of the soap. Into my bigger bucket, I have added a little bit of grapefruit peel powder because it's a grapefruit soap, so why not? I'm gonna blend it in by hand, but there's still probably gonna be like little bitty chunks in there, so I'll stick blend those out in a moment. Like I said before, this little container right here is gonna be pink, so I'm going to use Watermelon Punch Mica from Nurture Soap. Gonna put a little of that in there. And into the other side, I'm going to add some titanium dioxide mixed with water. And then into both of them, I'm going to add the rest of my fragrance oil. This is a really amazing scent, and it performs really well in cold processed soap, so I'll leave you guys a link to it down below. And let's blend these up. I'm gonna take this container that I poured the green in, and I'm gonna pour some of this white into it. And then I'm gonna pour some of the pink straight in. I'm just gonna go in a circle. And then I'm going to begin by gently, gently, gently pouring this bucket over the loaves. I'm pouring out of this container first because I wanna make sure that I fill up the holes, as you can see I'm doing here, of the embeds. And to kind of keep it from breaking the surface a little bit, just to make sure all of those are filled in. I will also tap this down to get any air bubbles out of there. Doo, doo, doo. Gosh, this smells so good, but it's a really potent scent. So if you don't like potent scents in your soap, I would recommend you try a different one. Okay, come to this side. I am taking my time because the fragrance oil is performing very well, so I have lots of time to kind of play around with the swirls here, make sure every single bar is going to look absolutely perfect. Ooh, yes. I'm just gonna pour the last little bit of soap I have into this mold over here. Looks like candy. Got a scrapey out my container. All right, all the soap is in the molds now, so I'm going to tap them down on the ground and we will move on to the soap frosting. My frosting has set up. It's this really cool sort of like lime green color, and I have this tip that I really like. It's from Amazon. I'll leave you guys a link down below. I'm going to begin by putting 3 little dollops across, and look at all those ridges. These always look so delicious. Also, you guys are probably going to hear my child blowing raspberries in the background. Lily Marie, you have so much to say. Just gonna put 1 little dollop. Sometimes I like to go all the way down the length of the mold, just kind of like for measuring's sake, so I can make sure that all the ones on the outside look really pretty, and then the ones on the inside, they don't have to look very good at all. Alright, so the whole frosting is on top, so I'm going to put on some little, what are actually ice cube lemon slices, but we've colored them pink, so now they look like grapefruits. And then I cut them in half, and I'm just gonna stick half of it out on each side, so it'll look a little something like this right here. So it looks like, you know, we're hiding the fact that they're cut in half. These are colored with Summer Crush mica. I really love this mica from Melt and Pour because it's pink, but it has some sort of goldy tones in there, and it makes it really, really pretty whenever it's in the sunshine. That's another reason why I was saying grapefruit lemongrab for this, is because we used a lemon ice cube tray, and that paired with the fact that lemongrass I always just want to call lemongrab. I have a funny lemongrab story. My brother, who I used to live with in Butterfly Cottage, does really good impressions, especially of annoying characters like lemongrab. And he was really good at the whole unacceptable conditions screaming, and then like saying 12 years dungeon and things along the lines of that. So whenever I would make soap over there were so many things I had to cut out of the videos because I would be right in the middle of explaining something, and then he would just bound down the stairs and just say unacceptable, and he didn't even know what I said. It was anything I could say, whether I was in the middle of a sentence or had just finished talking about, you know, a movie I liked. It didn't matter. He was gonna come bounding down and say unacceptable, and it would get really loud right in the camera, and so whenever I went to go edit, it would just blow my earbuds out because he was so loud. These are so cute. These also are really like time intensive to make, but I love the way they look on cold process. And I actually have an idea for using them with a low top soap sometime in the future. And a quick Polly update for you guys. She is taking her treatment pretty well. She has had to be taken to the ER a few times because she ran a fever one of the times, and then they had some like bruising and stuff on her legs because of one of the medications she was taking. So she's had a few little rough bouts there, and she's about to go another really big round of chemo. So we're actually going to move her little birthday party into April because May is when she's getting all of her chemo and stuff. So we're gonna celebrate during a time when she's not, you know, feeling kind of crappy. One should be able to enjoy their birthday, don't you think? For the very tippy tops of these soap, I'm gonna add a little bit of pink sea salt. Yes, I think this really ties together because it matches that Summer Crush mica so well. Sprinkle a little bit of that right down the middle here. And on this side, right down the middle. And I'm gonna put 2 different types of glitter on here. I have some Snowflake Sparkle biodegradable mica, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of that onto the grapefruits because it makes the little indentation and sort of like kind of grapefruit design on the one side, the citrus appearance, really pop, and it becomes very visible when it has this on it. And yes, this is a regular salt and pepper shaker. And then on the rest of the soap, we're just going to add some regular old glitter. Make it nice and sparkly. We will spritz with rubbing alcohol, and my friends, these bars are done. And this is what the soap looks like up close. I love it. So springy, so vibrant, and the smell is fantastic. And look, now you can see what I was talking about the glitter kind of highlighting the accents of those lemons there. So we are going to be back in about 24 to 48 hours to cut up these bars after a quick commercial break. We are back the next day to cut up the grapefruit lemongrab. soap. I'm gonna line it up here with my cutter, and then I'm gonna have to do something a little different today. Oh look, it's perfect already. Hooray! I'm gonna have to push the soap up a little bit because these little like bamboo curl slash grass shoots are a little bit too big and they'll kind of get whacked off. So I'm gonna have to hold this up with my arm until I get past that point with the cutter. Okay, so now I'm past that point so I can scoot it on back. Gonna keep pressing down gently, very slowly, because there's melt and pour embeds inside. Then let's pull one out of the middle. Yes, look at that. That's so cool. It totally looks like little grass shoots. Ah, yes. And here's one with the little cute cube embeds. Yes, I love it. This honestly looks really, really similar to the concept picture I drew. I should go get it and show it to you guys. So here's the original concept image. You can see I had like the green on the bottom. I thought I might swirl it with the white, but I'm really glad I decided not to. And then I have the pink and white swirls, and then there's all the little grass shoots, and then the little cube embeds as well. Then we've got the grapefruit wedge, and we've got the little melt and pour curl here. So you can see it actually turned out really similar. It doesn't always happen that the concept image ends up looking like the soap, but this one, I mean, it really does. It looks really similar and I'm thrilled. And the smell is so good. I'm super loving it. Here's a little up close on the top. Yes! And in this one, in the white, it may barely be possible for you to see teeny tiny little specks of the grapefruit peel, which I think is just a marvelous addition. The question of the day is, would you rather be locked in a library or an amusement park for 24 hours? And by the way, all the rides in the amusement park work, but me personally, that sounds super creepy. I think I'll take the library. If you would like to vote in the question of the day, you can click the I in the upper right hand corner of the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed this soap making video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment down below. And if you feel so inclined, you can click the little bell so that the soap fairy alerts you every time I upload a new video. Lily, will you say bye-bye? Bye-bye. And until next week, I hope you all have an absolutely royal day. And bye for now. Meow.